Yo. Some volume going here. What's happening, guys? No, I'm a little bit late on the 6 to 8 stream time here, guys. Buy Bitcoin Cash, a real Bitcoin. Is that so? We'll give it just a couple minutes, guys. See how many people join up here. I'll look at Bcash. Are any of you guys in here from my Discord? I'm not sure if the link worked. It must have worked, all these fucking people joining. That's because I already smoked, bro. Alright, dope. We'll give it to like about 3 minutes, 4 minutes here, see how many people get watching, and then we'll just get going. Feel like my numbers are fading, man. The bear market, everyone's fading out. I used to get a couple hundred people watching the live streams, only 40 right now. You guys are still around, congratulations. Johnny Weekends, what a name. $47. I know. It's like, why are you leaving now? Everything's down 90%. Might as well just stay. Jesus Christ. Terrible RR to be exiting the markets right now, boys. When Vegas, what up, my dude? I swear to God, Cred, this is the first time my brain's been functioning at even half a capacity since that goddamn trip. If I would have stayed one more day, I might have died. Alright, 50 people. I guess this is what we're going with. Because apparently Trader Mayne ain't popular anymore. God damn it, or the bear market flushed all you out of here. Should be 150 people watching this motherfucking video at this point after the sauce I fucking laid upon y'all in the last video. Everyone on goddamn Twitter has a 50% line on their fucking on their rectangles now. So you're welcome. Oh, bro, I know. Honestly, I was supposed to go to the Drake concert the night I got back, and I couldn't even fucking go, man. I was in bed at like 7 o'clock at night, just chilling. I was too fucked. And I wanted to go so bad. I fucking spent $250 rebooking my flight back home a day early so I could go to the concert, and then I didn't even go. Yeah, apparently there's only 55 people. Apparently there's only 55 people left in crypto Twitter. I know, dude. I was too mangled. Couldn't do it. Dude, Cred can hold his liquor like a champ, my friend. Like a motherfucking champ. Alright, so let's get going. Pepperoni Poppy. Yes, all of my public live streams stay on YouTube. So, yeah, let's get going. So welcome back to a live stream with Trader Mayne. Seems like I'm doing these about once a month now. I would love to do them more regularly, but you know, shit happens. So let's talk. We finally got some volatility after a whole bunch of nothing, right? So the last live stream I did was October 1st. Just deleting all this shit. You guys will be happy to know that I'm still terrible at TradingView. I have this like fucking tiny MacBook. I still have to go get my old computer back. My life is in shambles. All of my screenshots that I have from all the idiots on crypto Twitter, fucking calling tops incorrectly and long in the top and short in the bottom. All my screenshots are gone, guys. I had so much ammunition. I had DMs. I had all the dirt on everyone. It's all gone. It's just like Hillary Clinton's emails, you know? Hillary Clinton's emails, 33,000 deleted. I easily had 33,000 screenshots of just gold, ammunition ready to fire. All gone because fucking Steve Jobs is a cunt. So, let's talk about the market. So last video was October 1st. So if you guys remember, in the last video, I was talking about our favorite fucking dandy of a level. The daily level from right here. You guys remember this one? All you fucks should remember this level. So we had this bad boy. Oh God. Oh Jesus. We had this bad boy drawn out in time. And what did we say? What was the rule? Right? It's a daily level. Right? So what do we do? What's step 2? Y'all should know because it's on all of your Twitters now. You take your fib, you pull it, you get the 50%, right? 6818. If we get a daily close above 6818, we're going up. If we don't, we're going down, right? No daily close, we dump. No daily close, we dump. Daily close, you could have literally longed the next daily candle. It's not a great entry by any means, but it's a fucking, you know, that's a $1,000 move still. Just buying the first daily close above this level. Right? Daily closed above, went up. Daily closed below, you could have literally shorted the next day at 6,700 and had a nice ride down. Another, $1,000 move. What happens again? We come up to it, close below, we close through. You could have literally longed this. You get in between 6,900 and 7,000. It's not a huge here. So that's a 2-to-1 right there, right? We're below it again. What happened here? Close below, close below, close below. We dumped off, and that was kind of the last live stream right here, right? So right now we have a new range that we formed. We basically dumped, took out these lows. We had a retracement. We've now formed a range. We basically had everyone calling for 3,000 and 10,000 in the last kind of like 2 weeks here. We've deviated below the range. And I'll zoom in here so we have a little bit more detail. We have this 4-hour order block here. Basically, we formed a range underneath. We dumped into that, and now we're back in the range. So the reason this is a deviation from the range, the way I trade ranges basically is simple. If we come out of a range, until we get a close, a retest, and then a break of the move that came out of the range, it's not anything but a deviation. So what I mean by that is, like, if we came out here, let's see here. If we come out of the range here, when we come back and retest, the way that I know this is not a deviation is if this low, basically, which is the low that generated the move outside of the range, as long as that low holds, and then we make a move away, and then obviously break, sorry, this would be a high, excuse me, not a low. As long as this high holds, then we come back into the range, we retest, and we can actually dump into the range as well. As long as this high holds, and then we come back out, and then we break this low, that is a break of the range to me, okay? Versus what happened here, we had the high put in, we broke out, we came back, we had a weak bounce, and look, now this high has been breached here. So to me, I would now just classify this entire move here as just a deviation to the downside. And the exact same thing can happen here. This is exactly what I'm watching for live right now. So basically, we have a low put in right here that's pushed us out of the range. The question is, are we going to come back in, hold this low? This is the low I want to see hold, and then move away, right? And then take out this high. That would be a break out of the range. Otherwise, if we have this low hold here, we come out of the range and we come back in and we break this low, I would look for another move to the downside. It's exactly how I'm playing the price action in Bitcoin right now. I think it's pretty straightforward at this point. What's going on? We'll see. I see like some nice equal lows right here, basically. That, in my opinion, if we kind of come below this level, I might even let. So what I've done is I had a long down here, and then I've hedged my long up here. So I'm basically covered in either direction. I hedged somewhere in like 65.10, and my stop is above here. And I would be targeting kind of here and then here, right? Like below this order block, basically, there's stops here, and then ultimately there's stops here. But you want to look, basically, if I'm bullish, if I'm leaning bullish, I want to long or add to my longs on one of these bounces, kind of in one of these areas here. And then what I would do is I would cut my short hedge if we see bullish market structure form around, maybe this order block or kind of this consolidation here, basically. I wouldn't really want to see price go much below here. I mean, even here is kind of aggressively low. I would rather this low holds, and we stay within the range. I think if we come back below the range, these are equal lows that look prime to be hunted. These are equal lows that look prime to be hunted. I would like us to, find a reaction at either the 50% or the bottom of the range to continue upward. And if that's what I see, if I see bullish market structure forming here, I will obviously look for longs at one of these levels, right? So, that's kind of how I'd play it. And if it, or not look for longs, but add for longs, excuse me. Or if you're not in a position, you could get long on a pullback, right? You don't want to long right into resistance. This is this 4-hour order block here that caused us to dump through all of these lows, right? This huge move. I'm ignoring this wick completely. To me, this is an anomaly, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm not paying attention to this wick because if you ignore this wick, this order block is basically stop price, and this order block here caused this move. This is basically forming a range in itself, right? You could take a fib from here to here, and the 50% would be like right here, I bet. Let's just fucking do it. Right? There you go. Just like I said, I'm a fucking genius. Which is basically the midpoint in the oscillation of this entire move, right? This is above the 50%, below, now we're back above. You can play that bigger range the exact same as we're playing this smaller range. The reason I like the smaller range is it gives you a tighter area of price to work in, which means you can tighten up your R&R. That's the only reason. Otherwise, you could completely play this as a bigger range here and just say we're shorting this range down to here, looking for longs down here, back up to here. So that's it, right? If we see bullishness form at this level here or this level here, I'd probably cut my hedge. It'd be really nice to see a stop run below this low, kind of right into these highs here, and then another leg up. That would be like the best bull move, in my opinion. And I would cut my hedge short here and maybe even add to longs. Otherwise, I think if we kind of get below this level, I think we're going to come for these lows. And these lows are probably conveniently right on the 50% of this order block here. Look at that. Boom. 62.10. What's this? 62.09 and 62.10. It's like fucking magic. I would think these are in play. So how do I play that, right? My short entry was on this order block. My long, So I'm basically trailing my stop up. I haven't actually moved it, but what I will do is if these lows break, I would probably cut my long I've already taken a piece off here. So I either scale off in a half position or a 1/3. I'm drawing it with the cursor as if you can see me, but I know you can't. So I would probably cut my long maybe partly here. I mean, it's hard to say. I have 1/3 scaled off up here. If this looks like it's fucking topping out, I'll probably take another piece of my long off, because the thing is if it's gonna go back up, right, and it comes back into here, and I've scaled off some of my long because it's looking bearish, I can add back to my long here for the next leg. Right, that's the beauty of hedging. I have a third of my position, or 2/3 of my position from down here. I don't even know. I'm trying to draw two there. 2/3 of my position in from down here. I might scale off a bit if it's coming down, but by scaling off that long, I can also close out some of my short hedge, and you mitigate that loss. You hedge against the loss. That's the whole point. So that's kind of how I'm playing this range. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm doing the exact same thing for ETH here. So we have this daily. I don't even know where this. Maybe this is a daily or a 3-day block. Sure. This looks like a 6-day order block essentially, right? I'm combining these two candles here that caused this down move, and I said hedge here. I think I posted this one on Twitter. We came right up into it. I mean, I'm not gonna do the fit. I will do the 50% because fuck it. 50% is 224.85. The high of this candle is 223.80. So $1 off, right? I'm not saying that's where exactly I got my hedge in. It was lower than that. It was like the high teens or maybe the low 20s. I can't remember. 219 maybe, 220. That's why I started to hedge my F position based on the exact same market structures, Bitcoin essentially. This is kind of my thoughts on ETH. I'll zoom in. I'm playing it very similarly. Similarly, fucking A. This order block here essentially is where I'm getting this low from. I don't really want to see this kind of down move, which, held this low and then created this higher low, albeit with a lower high so far, right? The bulls really want to see this be a low, a high, a higher low, and then you need to see a higher high here, because in my opinion, this is getting weaker. And, if it rolls over from here, that's bearish. So, look on Twitter. It's the same shit, super bullishness on alts, on Bitcoin, right into resistance as usual at a lower resistance level than last time. If you guys remember the last video I did, people were getting bullish right into like 6,800. And then they were getting bullish into 6,700, and now we're getting bullish into 6,500. So obviously, like I said, several times, I own Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to go up. I'm holding some longs right now, but just be aware, right? Like, people are getting euphoric on this move after this. So it's crazy to me. So anyways, the bulls on F need to see this high break at the very least. So hedging here. I got this level on the 4-hour, right? Bullish order block. And what you see that might be forming here, there's still a lot of time left on this candle. There's still 3 hours left on this candle. This could be a breaker, right? Down candle before the up move that takes out this swing high, right? And if price breaks below it and then comes back up into it, this would be a sell targeting, here and then ultimately down here. Otherwise, you want to see it get above this level rather quickly, or I want to see it, kind of form. I would like to see this consolidation hold for sure, right? Because, this is a good area. It looks like, the low 200s to buy the dip if this thing's going to continue going up. If it comes back into these levels here, I don't know if I'm as confident. I would probably, I put this on Twitter, I would probably punt along around here, with my stop here, or even, riskily down here, targeting at least back up to this level. Probably a tighter stop though. This would probably be the last area I would try along it. If this thing rolls over and we come below this level, equal lows right here. And, we're not too far from dumping through all of this mess. So same thing on XRP here. I had a higher time frame level. I don't think we got up there, obviously. From over here, I think this is a daily. It might even be a 3-day level, that caught this high. Remember, we had that crazy Ripple pump. There you go. Another kind of 6-day order block. Just this up move before this down move. Again, we came up into it. We didn't close above the 50%. We dumped off. And then I have this candle here that kind of caused this down move. So I've marked that one out. That's where I started hedging Ripple. And I would hedge Ripple right up into here. I think people are very bullish on Ripple, it looks like on Twitter. So I will hedge it right up into here. And then if it gets above this level and takes off, by all means. So Ripple, exact same thing, right? We're coming up into this like bearish, resistance and order block up move before the down move, right? And that's an area I would look to hedge. Twitter is super bullish. Again, look at the fucking price chart on Ripple, right? Like this looks shitty. So the fact that people are like extremely euphoric here, I mean, I get it. This is a nice up move and a higher low, and it definitely can go for a run. But this is where I would go ham on Ripple, right? If we came above this high and then we retest this level and this finds support, like by all means, you go in on Ripple and you target these equal highs up here, right? But if that doesn't happen, I would not be surprised that this move is just another move like this. A big move up, fake out, and then it's just going to dump through the floor. So, just be cautious with everything. Just remember we're in a macro downtrend no matter what anyone says until we're, breaking fucking serious highs and causing serious bullish market structure. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, low, lower low, lower low, right? Is this a higher low? Maybe, but this is a higher low relative to here, and then we dump through it. So just keep everything in perspective, zoom out, and relax. So, a lot of people long Ripple. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. A turnaround from here, this looks like a good area to buy. This looks like a good area to buy. I feel like if this level kind of here, this kind of consolidation of candles fails, I don't really want to see us come back to 35 cents because, this low, it's not equal lows, but I mean, I would call it equal lows. If we get down below here, I think we're going to fucking, go lower. So, to put everything into perspective, we're obviously still macro very bearish, but there's definitely a lot of setups that look promising, at least for small flips. With smart risk management, you're taking profits along the way. No reason you can't be getting in some longs now. I don't encourage anyone just to sit out because we're in a bear market on any sort of long opportunity. But, that said, just keep things in perspective, zoom out, and be smart, especially on alts, right? Like if Bitcoin looks bullish, it's great. But just remember, like if Bitcoin falls through like 6,100, every single altcoin is going to get crushed. Every single one. And a lot of them that look like they have made floors will make new lows. It's just a fact. So, just be prepared, be safe, use good risk management, and you'll be Gucci. So those are kind of the only 3 coins I really want to talk about. Those are the only kind of positions I'm really in. I'm cautiously long on a few of these things and hedging at obvious resistance. Use Twitter as a sentiment indicator, as we always say. So many people are bullish right now online. Everyone's redrawn. How many new meme triangles have you seen? Like, be honest with me. I've seen multiple posts today and the last few days being like, hold on, let me just turn this off. I'll use this one because I don't draw on this. Oh, look, I was already fucking around. I think I was going to do a meme chart, but then I fucking probably got stoned. Right? Remember these? Remember everyone when they had this one? And they said, could it really be that easy? Breakout, we retest, moon. Nope. Right? The next one, breakout, retest, and then we just went sideways forever. So everyone has a new one, right? They have a new one over here, and I don't know exactly where they've drawn it. Maybe they drew it here. They're saying, look, we're out of the meme triangle now, right? So there's a new meme triangle on Twitter, and people are waiting for it to take off. I'm just saying it's the same old story, just at an even lower high. That being said, I've told everyone I'm still leaning bearish. For me, by like technical analysis standards, I think like this 6K level kind of should have broken already. Like there's so much liquidity in my opinion below these yearly lows. But I'm not completely naive. We're definitely we're definitely closer to the bottom on Bitcoin and major altcoins than we are to the top. And what I mean by that is shorting at these levels doesn't make a ton of sense. It just doesn't from a risk reward perspective. So, for the person who's not a day trader, who maybe just wants to buy and sell Bitcoin, to me, $6,000 to $7,000 Bitcoin in the long run, we're talking 1 to 5 years. That sounds like a long time because this is crypto, but like, let's be realistic. You're trying to make life changing money. It can take a little bit of time. To me, it's dirt cheap. Same with like $200 ETH. Like, there's no way in my mind that we don't see like, $3,000 ETH a few years down the line if Bitcoin goes through all-time high again, right? Obviously, there's no guarantee that's going to happen, but to me, like if you long Bitcoin at 6K and it goes to $4,500, you don't fucking sell it. You just buy more. Or you just hold in a little bit of a drawdown, knowing that, okay, you might be in a $1,500 drawdown, but the potential upside is huge. So to me, I'm trying to remain unbiased, obviously, but I'm still leaning to the bearish side, just technically, meaning, I'm not going to have huge alt exposure because I still think some of these things could drop 25, 35%. But on something like Bitcoin, if it drops another 10%, 20% even, it's not the end of the world for your spot holdings at the very least. I'm just saying from a trading perspective, we could go lower, so be careful with altcoin exposure. But overall, I think we're a lot closer to the bottom, so I don't think building positions around these levels with the ability to be prepared that if you're building an F position at 200, it might go to 125, it might go to 150, and you can just dollar cost average down because in my opinion, anything around 150 on F, my God, 2 years from now, you're going to be like, you're an OG, bro. You got an F, in 3 digits. So just my 2 cents, still leaning a little bearish. Be careful, but I'm not shorting into 6K support. If we're going to go to 4,500, you know what I mean? Like if this is the next target and we are going to dump, like if we're going to dump to here, let's just say, there's going to be an opportunity to short, on a trading perspective. I'm not saying dump your fucking stack and rebuy at 4,500, but let's say this is, the key level. I'm not being super technical right now, but just speaking, right? Like if this shit fails, this becomes a local high, don't short right into it, right? Because, we might come down into here and then bounce again, right? And then something like this, you never know. But what you can do, if we are going to go down, is, wait. We come down, wait for the retest, right? And then what you want to see is bearish market structure form. So you want to see a high be put in, and then the low that generated that high, you want to see that get broken. And then maybe even another up leg, and then this high here remains intact, and it dumps off again, right? Like that's bearish market structure, right? Lower, oh my God, kill yourself. Lower lows and lower highs, right? And then it comes down, and then, there will be an opportunity to short in a retest of this area. Just butchering the chart here, guys. Okay, are you going to delete? Go fuck yourself. There's going to be an opportunity to short down to 4,500 if that's where we're going, with your stop up here, that will give you a 2-to-1. But trying to short your spot position or your large holdings into this level with the hopes that you can rebuy here, to me, just doesn't make sense. You're better off holding Bitcoin that you own from the 6,000s and adding to your position down here. I honestly don't know if it will go down here, but if it does, like I'm going to be longing the fuck out of Bitcoin. for the next run, and building positions on, you know, large cap alts, because that's what I fuck with. I don't really fuck with the other shit. So with all that rambling being said, 30 straight minutes of talking, let's see what you guys have to say. Milan Markovic, I will send a link out to my Discord on Twitter sometime this week. What's happening, Stingray? So, yeah, like we said, we're hedging ETH, right? We're hedging ETH in this area, and we're looking to rebuy on dips. And then if it looks shitty, you know, you keep your hedge open and you cut your longs. It's very so the ways to hedge is you either use a combination of like the swap contracts, the perpetual contracts, and the futures on BitMEX or Deribit, Durbit. I don't know how to fucking say it. Or you can have two accounts. You know, there's a lot of ways you can hedge, but you know the easiest way, in my opinion, is a combination of the swaps, you know, in the futures, or having two accounts on BitMEX or Durbit. You know, and one being a purely hedging account. You can hedge 1-to-1, the same position size each way, or you can hedge smaller than your core position, you know, just to mitigate whatever loss may come. You know, me personally, I think my hedge is about 30% the size of my core position that I built down around 200. Whatever that means to you, I don't fucking know. So we'll watch this closely, and if it looks like shit, I'll cut my longs, you know, and move on. Yeah, I agree 100%. I think like this 63.80 level should hold. I wouldn't really want us to see break below the range. I mean, if we dump hard into this order block here, sure, but I don't really want to see us go below there. We're definitely coming down here, and then if we get below this low, 61.50, I think we're fucked. ICT, I don't know if you're watching. Hopefully I'm doing you proud there, buddy. Message retracted. It's like TMEC or whatever. TM3K. Message redacted. Hedging is when I have a long position open, Fred, on, let's say, the swap contracts on BitMEX, and then I open a short on the futures. So if price keeps going up, my long position is earning more, but my short position is losing money. But the idea is you hedge at a resistance level, for example, in case exactly what we're seeing now is happening, right? If I'm long from down here and I hedge here, yes, my long is in less profit, but I have a short from up here now in profit, mitigating some of that loss. So it's a good way for you to be able to, you know, mitigate potential losses when coming into key levels. There's lots of reasons for hedging. You know, I've done a whole video on them. You can watch that on leverage and hedging and using futures contracts versus, you know, the spot contracts, etc. So watch that video. That will explain it better than my high self can explain it right now. There you go. These guys all got it figured out. Would you not add to a short as ETH just closed below that 4-hour EQ block, now being denied by the EQ? So what I just said there, Chris, is, you know, this could potentially be a breaker, right? You could see a breaker form here. But generally on the breaker, what you want to see is it come below and then come back up into it, right? So that could be what's happening right now. I'm not just going to blindly add to my shorts here, though. I'm just going to leave my hedge open, and if it continues to go down, it's going to continue to go down. I have a pretty large long built from 200, so I'm not just going to completely counteract this 10% move that I've got by fucking going huge on the short. I'm just going to hedge. I'm hedging about 30% of my position from up here. So if it continues to dump below here, I'll probably cut my longs and then maybe add short on a retest. I mean, it's kind of the same effect, but it's not because I'm doing it all at the same time. But I mean, technically, sure, you're capturing the same movement in price. I would suggest you watch the video that I did, Fred. It will explain it. You're making more money properly by hedging because you're capturing some of the negative price move, just like Chris said. You're not at a net zero though, because I'm long from 200 and I hedge short at 220 and price is at 213. So my long is up $13 and my short is up $7. So you're not at net zero. Equal lows and swing lows are areas where there is often liquidity, right? Where would people who longed Bitcoin in this order block, let's say they long Bitcoin here, where are their stops? Their stops are here, here, and then now that we're way up here, they'll probably trail them to this swing low, this swing low, this swing low. Just areas where liquidity is going to be. You know, that's where the market goes. Sure, I'll chart Bitcoin Cash for all y'all. Uh, Fred, watch the video I did on fucking leverage and stuff. It will explain it all to you. Until you're more sure of the direction of BTC, blah, blah, blah. You're quoting our lounge chat now, bruv. I was at like 6 beers when I said that. My man, cred is an absolute beauty. Vegas was awesome. Alright, so I guess everyone wants me to chart Bitcoin Cash. What you thinking on DXY? Sure, I can go over that too. Any FX tips? I would say watch ICT's videos, bro. He's the FX king. How do you know if the level is holding? So, bro, if you watch my last live stream that I did an entire video kind of talking about what I consider like, you know, levels holding versus not holding. So I would suggest checking that one out. But what you want to do is based on whatever time frame the level is on, right? If you're on a daily level, right, you want to pay attention to the daily candle close. If you have a 15-minute candle close on, you know, below your daily level, you don't got to stress. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a 15-minute candle that, you know, the next 10, 15-minute candles are going to be all up, and all of a sudden on the daily candle, that was just a wick, right? So market structure shifts on the lower time frame first, right? The daily candle is 24 1-hour candles, you know, and a 4-hour candle is 4 1-hour candles. So what might be, you know, 2 1-hour down closes on the hourly chart could just be a wick on the 4-hour when the actual 4-hour closes, you know, much higher. So, you know, that takes some time to learn. You know, you got to spend a lot of time in front of the charts and starting to realize that price is fractal in that sense. When I'm talking price is fractal, or at least price action guys are talking fractal, the fractal nature of price, it's not about you know, patterns, to me at least, you know, saying, hey, look, this looks like the 2014 fractal, you know, market cycle. To me, what fractal price means is that, you know, 4 1-hour candles make up a 4-hour candle, and price can be broken down, you know, into smaller parts. And the more time you spend staring at the charts, you know, when I'm looking at an hourly chart, I can kind of almost visualize what the 4-hour chart looks like and what the daily chart looks like just by kind of combining the candles. So I don't know. That just came with practice. That's not something I, specifically just learned from some simple trick. It's just lots of time in front of the charts. So I suggest you do the same. So when it comes to levels breaking, be aware of what time frame that level is drawn on. Yeah, so if you have a daily level, focus on where the daily candle closes, above or below that level. Simple as that. All that talk for just that. Indica sativa, depends what time of day, my dude. Not bad. Appreciate that, my friend. So yeah, who's got some questions? I guess we want to see Bcash. Is that what everyone wants to see? I don't trade this shit, so is this the right chart? Everyone nod yes if this is the chart you want to see. Is this the right chart? You guys need to say yes? Alright. I don't think I've ever traded this shit ever. Okay, so I mean, this is interesting, right? We're past all-time high. So, this isn't the best chart to chart because we're above fucking price action, right? So we can't see where the resistance is. I mean, we've fucking blown through this wick. What you're better off charting is, I guess, Kraken now. Right? Because you need to see where the resistance is. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's see. See here? How's that not on the 3-day? On the weekly then? I mean, maybe. I like the 3-day. So I like two levels here. I like this level here. This candle, I like that one drawn out as the resistance area. But even better, I like this on the daily. So to me, that whole little fucking spiel I gave about fractals, this is what I mean. Like for me, I'm just gonna group these candles together, and that's gonna be my level. I'm not just gonna take one. I'm gonna take all three of those, and I'm gonna group them together. Because that up move caused this down move, right? So to me, that's a great level. And that's why I see, price turning around here. And I think that also is in line with that level I showed you on the weekly from over here. So finding blocks, for me, it all hinges around support and resistance, right? So what do we have here that's key is we have a good support and resistance level, right? If I draw out this level in time, this has been a great area where price is oscillated around. So to me, that's a good area to look for, an impulse move leading to a dump, right? So that's the level I'm watching on the upside. This is the level here I would focus on. In terms of a pullback, right? And I'll flip back to the futures chart, but the whole point is the futures chart is over all-time high. So how are you supposed to know when price is supposed to stop? Well, get the spot chart, draw it up there, and then use that to fucking focus on the futures. So this is the area that, to me, looks like a logical area for a retest, right? You want to see price come into this level here and find support and then continue up. And then you want to fucking, if you're not long from down here, right? You want to long it on the retest and your risk goes like below here. Even to just here, that's a 2-to-1. Right? Or you wait for it to break resistance, you long it here, risk is here, and where are you targeting? Where's the next highs? You just look left, right? I would target probably these highs here. And that's the beauty of trading, man. Like I hate when people are like, oh, like if you're not long this, you're fucking wrong. It's like, dude, I'm ready for either scenario. If I was trading Bcash and I got in a long down here, I would be hedging my long here and be ready to cut it. Because if I hedge my long here, it comes here, and then this happens, my short is getting stopped out at these highs, and I'm adding to my longs, and I'm now long. But now if price rolls over, right? So let's say this doesn't happen. Let's say we come in and we have the exact price action we have now. And I hedged it here with my short stop, my risk here, my target is right here. That's a 2-to-1. I'm telling you, I can just see it. So let's say I hedged here, and then we come down and then we cause a lower high to form, and then a break of this low. To me, this right here is bearish, but then the break of this low super bearish, right? So at this point, you've scaled off some of your long and you've hedged short. And then if we broke this low, I'd probably cut my longs here, because let's say you got long somewhere around here, and I would be in a short now from up here, and I'd be targeting where? I'd be targeting these lows down here. So you can literally play both directions. You can be nimble. You can be prepared. It just takes a little bit more planning, right? You got to chart the levels in advance, and you got to fucking, be smart about it. Don't have a bias about being a bull or a bear and be like, oh, it's the end of the bull market, so I'm only longing shit. Long shit until it gets into resistance, and then be ready to either take profits or hedge short. Simple as that. Or you could have sat out this entire time and everyone's talking about altcoin pumps. You miss out on all of them, but it comes up to a key resistance level and you short it. And let's say this is the new local high. Let's assume that this is just another lower high from here. It comes up to a key resistance level. You short it, targeting these lows. You got yourself a great trade the other way. So as much as everyone was talking about this alt season move, of 50%, and you get in a short here, you got yourself a 30% move just to there and then potentially to new lows. So don't be biased, just play the price action. It's really that easy. Does that make sense for everyone? So does anyone want me to fucking chart anything else? It's getting late here. I apologize for being late on the fucking stream. I got sucked into fucking chicken wings and beer. So you know how that goes. See, right? This is why you gotta fucking chart the fucking other pair, because you got nothing to work with here. But this could be just a huge swing failure, like, on the weekly. What is that, the weekly or the daily? It's definitely not the daily, but imagine if that's a weekly swing failure pattern, right? Like, we close the weekly below this fucking high, that's bearish, my dudes. Exact same shit though here on the futures. This is your block. This is your level right here, 866. Right? And look, that lines up right about here, this fucking up candle. And then where would you target here? I would kind of target probably into these, like this level here. See if we can get some more detail. Yeah, that consolidation for sure. So, if you're long this thing, this is the key area for you. This entire consolidation. You really want to see that hold. Otherwise, I think we're going to come down to these lows here and then to these lows here. To certain death. So what's up? Anyone got any other questions? You want to see the dollar index? All right. I'll do the dollar index. I'll do Amazon. And then I'm going to fuck off. So, are you going to save your videos? Yeah. Every time I do a video like this, it is posted for free on my YouTube and it does not go anywhere. All right. Let's do DXY. I got some levels on this shit. A hideous blue one, it looks like. Okay, let's see. So, like, here's the thing. I want to be bullish on the dollar, but I don't know. The stock market to me So I posted this on Twitter when we were dumping. I said, this level needs to hold. This is a monthly level I took from here. And I posted this one hella early, right? And look, we dipped through it, right? We closed above what? The 50% of that level. And then boom, this is a huge market move. 4% on the S&P 500 is a monster move. Not just in terms of this, in terms of, being a 150-point move, but stocks, had a huge rebound from this level. So, hopefully some of you guys saw that. Whenever I post this kind of shit, it gets no fucking likes or no interactions. It's ridiculous. But, oh well. So, I posted this shit. To me, this is a dead cat. Now, I think we'll probably turn around from here. But if we come up to here, I saved this shit in advance. If I call this bounce, it comes up to here, and then we dump off again, oh my god, it will be epic. Because to me, this just looks like a dead cat bounce from here. Like, I think we're going to turn around here. Which makes me uber bullish on gold. I'm fucking crazy bullish on gold. I think we're going up here on gold, 1380 for sure. So I'm long gold from like 1180 to like 1200, even up to like 1215. I have multiple ads. As long as this low holds, to me on gold, I think the low is in and we're going for these highs up here. So that's that. You take that one to the bank and you send me a tip to my fucking piggy bank once that happens. So for the fucking dollar index, I'm cautiously. So here's the thing, right? Like, I think that we have a potential bounce area here for more upside, because I'm looking at the Euro USD and I'm thinking that as long as we can hold as long as we can kind of hold this level here, basically where we're at now on the Euro USD, I think we're gonna get back above like 115, maybe up to like here. Kind of is I want to see like basically this level hold here now, and with that going up, that would coincide with a pullback on the dollar index, which is kind of what I was showing you here. That move on the Euro USD would coincide with this pulling back a bit, but then I think on the whole, we're going to see another higher low priced in, right? We got higher low, high, right? This is a higher high, right? We have an uptrend forming here. So, I could see us pulling back on the medium term, next couple of weeks, and then another leg up. That's my thoughts. Cable indeed looking strong as fuck. What else do we want to look at? Amazon. Right? Look at this. This is perfectly in line. This is what I mean by this, right? What was the date that I drew this? October 29th. I said the low might be in for now. Look at October 29th on Amazon. Fucking 20% move. So, I post this kind of stuff and no one fucking interacts with it. So where did Amazon dump into, right? High time frame. Right into that block, pumped off. Now you refine, you zoom in, right? Look at this one here. So those are kind of the levels I would watch for Amazon right here, right? And I'm just going to refine even more. We're basically coming right up into this fucking consolidation here. So here's going to be the key for Amazon, right? I see two scenarios, and this is going to go with whatever the stock market decides to do, right? So if the S&P is a dead cat, Amazon is going to turn around here, okay? If S&P is not a dead cat and it's going to get over that level I showed you, Amazon's going to get above this level and continue up and go to these highs here. What do I think is more likely? I think more likely this. So I favor scenario 2, but you can be prepared for either. If it breaks the zone, you long it here, or you long a break of here. If it breaks below the zone, you short it here, or you short a break of here. Easy peasy. That's me drawing a box and then drawing a fib on the top of it. I do that manually. All right, my guys, my gals, probably mostly guys, I'm assuming. I'm going to sign off here. It's about an hour. So good catching up with you. Hopefully not so long in between this time. And yeah, we'll chat soon. All right. Goodbye, guys.